Good morning. Does effective leadership really matter? Does effective leadership lead to an increase in productivity? And is there research that actually backs the connection between effective leadership and business productivity? The answer to all those is actually yes. Harvard Business Review research found that organizations with effective leaders who make data-driven decisions improve productivity by up to 30%. Could your organization use an improvement of 30%? I bet it could. And if you're not using data to make decisions, is it because you're under so much pressure that you have to wing it? Well, if you're winging it, you're making a mistake, and you're not being an effective leader. What else helps? Other research conducted by Gallup found that organizations with a highly engaged team, especially leadership teams, see a 21% increase in productivity. And that's because engaged employees are more likely to go above and beyond their roles and contribute to higher output and efficiency. So if you're an effective leader, you have an engaged team to help you be thoughtful about making good decisions. And the third thing that helps improve productivity, of course, is improved communication. McKinsey found that organizations that improved communication and collaboration increased productivity by as much as 25%. Effective leadership that promotes clear communication can streamline processes and reduce time needed to make decisions and avoid misunderstandings. So if any of these three effects of effective leadership are important to you and you're not sure that you can do it yourself, then you need a coach. And we know that effective leadership development depends on a number of factors, and I want to talk about a few of them today. The first one is you have to begin. You have to have a plan, and you have to begin to execute it. A plan that says, I know that I am not as good a leader as I could be, and I need to start developing my leadership capabilities to the next level. Second truth about leadership is once you have a plan, you have to commit to it. And that commitment means your time and your resources that are necessary to make the leadership development process journey effective. Nothing happens overnight, and so you have to commit the time, and that means at least a year, and the resources, yours or your company's, that make it possible for you to engage someone who can actually help you become a better leader. Why? Because leadership starts with personal transformation. It doesn't start with reading. It doesn't start with going to seminars. It starts with your personal transformation. And personal transformation starts with a transformational relationship. You need to have a relationship with somebody who can speak the truth to power and help you understand the ways in which your personal habits or traits may be interfering with your ability to be a more effective leader. Transformational relationships require both skill, professional skill, and wisdom. Not all coaches are leaders, but all leaders are coaches. Experience as a leader is one requirement to coach leaders effectively. If you've never been a leader, then you're just another opinion. You don't have any personal data to contribute to your client's professional development journey. Reading about leadership development makes you a reader, but not a leader. It's unfortunate that most people who read a lot or go to seminars and read a lot don't really develop better leadership capabilities because reading doesn't lead to development. Leadership development requires a personal relationship and with a coach that can actually help you follow the transformational journey. Another truth about leadership is that leadership development requires a discussion about your personal faith. Leadership is a spiritual as well as an emotional and psychological and business journey. And if you're not talking to a coach who can have a conversation with you about your faith journey and the spiritual components of being a leader, then you're going to miss out on one of the most important components of your own leadership development. Leadership development also must include a focus on your strengths. Too many coaches and therapists who become coaches focus on deficits and problems from your history and not enough on your personal strengths. One of the recommendations from the people at Strength Finders is that rather than focusing on developing your weaknesses, spend more time using your strengths and find people to fill in the holes in your capabilities so that you can delegate those tasks to somebody else and use your strengths to build your leadership capabilities. We recently published a executive development audit for stress, and that's because holistic leadership development includes both health and fitness. If you're physically impaired in some way, or if your personal daily habits interfere with your ability to function at your best, then you need to change those habits and understand what habits need to be changed in order to improve your performance as a leader. If you're an introvert, that doesn't mean you can't be a leader. But if you're an introvert, you can't lead from behind the curtain. Leadership requires time in the spotlight, but not the worship of personal fame and admiration. So if you're an introvert, you can still be an effective leader, but you're going to have to overcome your fear of being in the spotlight and learn how to use the spotlight effectively to communicate with your team and with your people in order to cast a vision that everybody can jump on board with and be an effective leader. Understanding more requires knowing less. What that means is that a big picture perspective on what's controllable and what's not controllable, what you should spend your time focusing on and what you should avoid focusing on, is one of those leadership capabilities that develops as a result of a personal relationship with a transformational coach that leads to greater self-awareness. There's a rule in business that 20% of the people that work for you require 80% of your time because they have problems that they can't fix, and they will come to you with complaints or with problems that demand your personal attention. And the fact of the matter is that effective leaders spend 80% of their time focusing on the 20% of the people in the company that are doing the work and are the most effective, and less time focusing on solving problems for people who are having problems but can't solve those problems themselves. So that's just a few thoughts today. If you're interested in becoming a better leader and what I'm saying to you resonates, then I'd be happy to talk with you. You'll see my phone number in the text that accompanies this video, and I look forward to you hearing from you. My email address is drkevincarlson17@proton.me, and my phone number is 972-839-2394. I look forward to having a discovery call with you to see if we can work together. Have a great day and be a better leader.